Hey guys, so some really quick announcements before we start. So first off, I am going to be on Inappropriate Characters, the podcast, over on Inappropriate Characters on YouTube. They've got a couple guys, if you know about them, you know about them.
We'll put the links down below.
Definitely.
He'll be on it on Sunday.
But Megan's going to be away in bed because Megan says, I'm not going on a podcast at 1:30 in the morning.
Whenever I have to get up at like 7 o'clock with the baby. No,
that's just not happening. But if
Sorry,
you want,
guys.
I'll get links down below. Go ahead, check it out. Also, we have a new subclass, the conspiracy theorist.
Guess who it is?
You'll find
Guess
out.
who it's based off?
Check the links down below. I think it's a lot of fun.
Turn the freaking frog.
Anyway, let's get into today's video.
Was I really that bad? Well, if you're asking that question.
Yeah, that's the little criteria, isn't it? If you're asking the question, I'm going to probably say yes, probably.
Me and the party doing the new Frost Maiden module. Defeat the Yeti, see her baby who one of the players finds adorable. He wants to take it with us. I'm adamant that we shouldn't as they are evil. Halfway through his point of why it deserves a chance, I just run up and snap its neck before throwing it off a cliff. I decided it wasn't worth arguing and I wasn't taking the risk.
Yeah, that was pretty, it's baby.
It's baby.
It's a baby, and it's very adorable. So do you want to hear what, I've told this story a couple of times now, if I be honest with you. Honestly, I thought we were bad, but we're nothing compared to this one. So pretty much, the way it's set up, there's not much you can do about the Yeti, because the Yeti is in the way of where you want to be, and you're going to have to do something. So, we killed the Yeti's mum. And we decided, well, the Yeti was very sad. The worst thing we did do is we did turn its head into like a little football to let it play with.
Oh no, it's Mother's head?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that was Jonathan's. So it was. I think that was Jonathan's idea.
Jesus.
But what we did was we we took the baby with it, we fed it, we looked after it. Sure, Teal was playing Nettie El Yeti.
Nettie El Yeti, yeah.
Yeah, the definitely not furry white bugbear. And, we looked after it, and then we give the cub to the Illithids, and it went off to Space University. And we kind of wanted to show up in another game and have it come back as, like Nemesis.
You killed my mum and you made me play with his head!
Give it, like, a Gatling gun and, make it all, deformed and stuff, you know what I mean? I think it'd be really cool. But yeah, you guys make it sound like I'm horrible.
Be me, a human fighter. White, of course.
Not going to comment on that.
No. See two orcs. Party kill them both. Third orc appears. Goes, no! And then tries to drop fireball on me. No sell it, and dive tackle him off the back of a velociraptor. Party kill him and loot his corpse. His ghost is mad at me. Laugh and dab because only PCs have ghosts in this setting. Player playing him starts crying and getting off the Zoom call. Everyone's sort of quiet and like, Jack, that was kind of a dick thing to do. Peter was just wanting to play his brother's legacy character. Give zero fucks and rip my shirt off and start doing base hunter dances. Elf chick tries to party kill me. Dab on her with 2 crits back to back dealing 400 damage. Her simp kobold jumps into the fray and hits me. Furbolg jumps in too. They get me to 2 HP. They stop and try to disarm the situation. Drinking over a boost to give myself 2 turns. Crit kill them both with minus strike for 1k damage apiece. DM gets mad and tries to strike me with lightning. Forgets that I have lightning reflection trinket and it just arcs the instant death bolt back to the caster. He wants to hand wave it, but I ask him who threw it. Who threw the instant death no save bolt? God is canonically dead in our game.
I mean, it totally happened, but
it totally happened, yeah.
I'm going to assume it totally happened. I want this to have happened. I want, the thing is, being an asshole is all about perspective and mentality.
Being an asshole is a way of life.
Yeah, the thing is, this guy's embraced it to the point of beast. Could we argue this fine specimen is what we would call a beast retard? I think so.
Running a homebrew heavy 3.5 game in a custom setting that's basically a planar mismatch of butt pieces of other settings stranded there. 4 players that don't matter for this and 1 unironic Satanist. As in, he believes in actual demon magic.
Is Tommy here? What's
Tommy's
Tommy
here.
doing?
A little weird and prone to drawing people into his vaguely BDSM-related magic realms, but mostly okay.
What do you mean vaguely?
What do you mean vaguely?
That's very hard
There's
to
no,
be.
there's nothing
vague about BDSM.
He tells me he wants to make a cleric of Lucifer, not Asmodeus, or any other canon devil. I tell him that Lucy isn't God, but I'll allow it since Asmodeus has clerics, and this setting has gods from everywhere. Plus, he was badgering me about it, and I was tired of discussing it. He eventually gets a magic wand that lets him teleport items or helpless creatures to hell to earn him brownie points. This comes back later.
I actually like that idea. I think that sounds actually pretty cool.
Especially for like a cult member or something, you know, it works.
Yeah, it's essentially, okay, you know what this is? This is what I always keep saying about, this is a bag of holding, except you've ripped the bottom out of it, and they get sent straight to hell.
Yeah.
Instead of... I think that's what I'm feeling.
The party are exploring some ancient ruins in a continent that recently appeared in the middle of the sea, which is a common occurrence here. They come across a giant mechanical creature that seems inoperable. They gather enough information from the ruins to learn that this thing was a war machine the gods of another world made to kill each other that worked too well. Killed most of them after it stopped taking orders, but they managed to send it to the mortal world.
Wait,
where proceeded to kill everyone in the area before the lack of planar energy forced it into stasis.
So, essentially, I see what he means. It's like, yeah, I've just taken stuff that I thought was cool. And let's be serious, Terminator 2 Judgment Day was the best action movie ever made. So I'm completely down with this.
They shot the continent off into nowhere, where it's set until it ended up here. The players learn that it's slowly recharging, and someone needs to do something before it gets all its power back and goes on the rampage. I intended this to be a ticking clock to get players moving. Lucifer Cleric walks up to it and says, "I send it to my patron. Are you sure?" "Yes. He'll love a god-killing weapon." I say okay, and the giant war mech gets bumped to hell. Things are quiet for a few hours until he eventually loses all spellcasting and his unholy symbol cracks.
Oh my god, he killed his own god.
He killed his own god!
Oh my god.
Which I set up previously as a meaning that the god died. What the fuck, man? I tell him to relax. The gods will probably be sending recruiters after the guy that sicked a massive war machine on hell. He tosses the sheet at me and leaves. Later, get ass blasted on Discord for discriminating against his religion. Was I out of line? Most of the other players seemed to think I was fine, since he was a bit of a that guy at times. But I'm not sure.
You know, the thing is,
no,
right?
Well, he asked for it.
No, the thing is, right, so see if players are okay with pulling all this. Like, I like doing stuff like this. Like, I think I would fall myself into this, a similar category of this guy. Like, I go to Teal and I ask him, you know, this would be a really cool idea. Could I do something like this? And normally he's pretty cool with it. And normally he'll be like, you know what? Yeah, James, sure. Why not? If you can make it work, we'll work with it. Yeah. You know? But he'll do that. He'll do the same stuff back to us. So you can.
He'll come back later and be like, well, remember what you done?
Yeah, it's like, you know what it reminds me of? You know, like the Kirk's monkey paw wish?
Everything has consequences.
Yeah, exactly.
Which it should do.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, like, you know, this is one of the things I've been really. I used to feel like fudging dice rolls wasn't that bad, but now the more I think about it, the more I'm actually against it. Mm-hmm. Because, well, okay, I suppose if the players don't know, it's actually fine. But the player can never know.
No, that's it. Never let the players know.
Because if you take that away, then you're no longer playing an actual game anymore. Mm-hmm.
You're just letting them create your story.
Creative storytelling.
Which it is.
Yeah, which it is. But again, you want a bit of agency. You want players to, like, you know, not just...
Yeah, but that's up to the DM. They could fudge the rules to make it happen or fudge the rules not to make it happen.
I mean, if it's going to make your life a million times easier and say, guys, can we just get back to fucking what I planned for this week? I'm okay.
Let's just stop this.
You know what this is? I'm okay with DMs being lazy sometimes. That's my argument.
Sometimes.
If
not all the time. This isn't a pass, guys.
But you know what I mean. Like, if you guys are working hard, you're doing everything.
And you want them to get to a certain point, but they're stuck at the market.
It's like sometimes you just gotta shoo them ahead.
Shoo them along.
You know. And maybe do they even know that they're being shooed along?
Psst. Hey, lean in closer. This is fucking ASMR channel now. You know what's pretty fucking based?
Titties. Go see titties. Lots of titties.
All the titties.
Go over to the website, check out all the models. You guys know the score. We have some really nice looking models over there. And we have a lot of...
It's sci-fi gothic.
Yeah.
Let's call them sci-fi gothic.
And if models isn't your shit, we have loads of subclasses and we keep adding them every other week or so. We add a lot.
We got a lot. Do you
Look,
guys...
we've got big brains. We add shit. But yes, go over to the website, check out everything. If you haven't subscribed, what the fuck you doing? Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell as well, and let's get back to the video. Every week we're going to be doing a giveaway of the new pinup model of the month, or if models isn't your thing, all of our homebrew content. If you want to be in with a chance to win the giveaway, all you need to do is subscribe. That's it. Hit the subscribe button. That's it.
Do it now.
But last week's winner was this guy. Well done! Yay! Round of applause.
Yeah.
Everybody stands up and claps. But enough of that. Let's get back to the video. So, long story short, I'm the forever DM of a 5e group of friends. They're the 10th level adventurers. They made a shitload of bargains with the River Fae for magical items. The deals involve rolling for what kind of payment you would deliver to the River Fae. One of them ended up needing to bring him the head of a Fae from a rival court, the Court of the Moon. The party found a way into the Feywild with the help of a Firbolg player's hometown. The Firbolg chief warned them that the Fae were nothing to fuck with, you should avoid their notice, etc. And especially warned about Archfey. They are lesser gods in their own realm. Once in the Feywild, the players, without my input, decided to convince some Fomorians to attack the city where the Moth Queen, Archfey of this court, and the other Moon Fae reside. The Fomorians hate the Fae, so they were on board, but their leader pressed harder, asked the party what their plan was, and how they were planning on dealing with the Moth Queen. The party didn't really have an answer, but the bard was silver-tongued enough to convince the Fomorians to go along with it anyway. They began their assault on the walls, which initially went okay. The defenders were focused on putting down the Fomorians and their soldiers, goblins and bugbear. The rounds went on, more defenders kept showing up from the city. Players hadn't yet killed one, so weren't able to get ahead yet. The Fae City had a giant dark spire. Fuck!
It's been a long day, guys, okay?
Visible for miles all round, with a gleaming light atop of it. Multiple creatures had stated to the party that the light was from the Moth Queen herself. Of course, I love lamp. Come on, guys.
It actually works.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
On the third round, I had the light on the spire go out. All the Fomorians and their allies panicked and began to run, yelling that the Queen was coming. Fourth round, party's still there. Moth Queen shows up. Meteor swarms those running instead of the party, though clipping the cleric and the ranger's pet. Cleric avoids instant death by 2 HP, but is obviously downed. Pet is dead. Fortunately, the druid was owed a favour from the Archfey of the River Court. River Archfey had given them a coin as a free escape or a free journey to wherever they desired. River Court is focused on journeys, crossroads, bargains, etc. Druid wisely uses the coin, and the River Archfey is able to offer them a quick getaway while barely fending off the Moth Queen. They were able to bring the corpse of a Moth Knight with them, allowing them to get the head they came for. I ended the session there, but the party bard was very salty about the whole encounter. He of course was the one who made like 6 bargains for magic items, and was the only one who needed the head in the first place. I feel like I warned the party multiple times about the power of the Archfey, and there were definitely opportunities to succeed. They could have lured a single knight away from the city, or any number of other solutions other than frontal assault. Was this unfair of me? I feel like I did everything in my power to help them, without making the setting bend over backwards for their success. And they ultimately did succeed, barely making it out with a head.
Right, so you know what this is? This is 5e players. This is just 5e players at its absolute finest.
It worked really well.
Like, it worked
and
out.
And they got out by the skin of their teeth.
It worked out, and you're still fucking gurning.
I know.
What's your issue?
You know what this is? Bard players. 5th edition bard players.
Yeah, that sums it up very nicely, if I be honest with you. It's the idea of, like, oh my god, why wasn't I not able to do, like, you got what you
got.
And, like, you need, like, okay, Fae, I just, you know the thing is, Fae are too pretty.
Yeah.
They've made Fae too, like, whimsical and magical. People would treat them very differently if they looked evil.
Yes, and I don't understand how anytime I read a story by Fae, people always, like, talk to them and believe in them and, like, do what they need to say. Why? Why
are you interacting with Fae if you don't need to interact with the Fae? Do not interact with the Fae.
We know they're tricksy little fuckers. Why are we dealing with this?
That, and also, like, let's be serious, if you're going to do a campaign for, like, for Fae, I would go very heavy intrigue and a lot of, you have to, it's reading between the lines and a lot of
riddles.
And it's a very hard, it's something that I would love to give a go, but I don't think I have the brain power and too much of an actual retard to be able to do that.
You couldn't.
So I would be like, deer in headlights, sorry, you already sold your soul. Oh, not again. That's the third time this week, guys. What happened? But yeah, no, this is typical 5e players. Like, the thing is, 5e, you may as well just not be. You can't die for the most part. It's actually really difficult to die a lot of time, unless you're absolute. Use the term again. Unless you're a base retard. You know what I mean? It is very hard to die, and they didn't die, and it worked out quite well for them, and they're still upset, even though they got everything that they needed, everything they wanted, and it all worked out for the best in the end. And also, it was a pretty cool set piece. And also, you got a villain coming after you.
Yeah.
I think that actually sounds pretty cool to me. I would be happy with that setting.
Once again, 5th edition power players.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to put on that. Honestly, I don't think any of these guys were actually all that bad. I feel like I've done more stuff unironically. The thing is,
I feel like I've done worse. I need that in a t-shirt.
you guys make it out as if I'm really bad. I don't actually think I actually am that bad.
Well, why did you say that, fella, in the game start? You know what? I'm a really horrible player, by the way.
I make people uncomfortable. I've got a certain knack for making people really uncomfortable. But I think I've just hit that point where I just don't care anymore.
I know. Look, you're a dad now. Who does care?
I don't have time to like really care that much about. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hurt your feelings? Oh, how do I have to approach this situation? I'm kind of blunt a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I've got no room for any of this, like, bitch boy fucking stepping about.
He's got no filter.
Yeah, you know what I mean, though? Like, I just don't have the time for that anymore. No. Anyway, before we go, a quick reminder, check the links out down below. Go to be on this podcast. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Honestly, I've been watching a lot of RPG Pundit. I've never spoken to the guy before. It'll be really exciting because he actually does some really, really good videos. Like, genuinely some of the best DM advice videos for me anyway. But he does deal quite a bit when it comes to SJWs. He kind of gets like, he's like overdosed on red pills when it comes to SJWs. The guy needs to get off Twitter. That's all I'm going to say. Like, it's like, man, you need to set that aside. Like, but they're like really cool guys.
But yes, if you want to check it out, please go and check out the links down below to their channel so you can watch James
talk shite. I'm going to get a few drinks on me beforehand. We'll see how badly this goes. Do you want to see James? The thing is,
do you want to see James making?
I've already spoken to one of these guys, right? And it's only been over, like, messages. So let's see. I'm going to get a few drinks in me beforehand.
Because where are they from?
They're American. They're all American.
Oh, they all American? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to get a few drinks in me, and let's see how uncomfortable I can make these guys. No, I don't think I will. They're all grog nerds. They all seem pretty cool, though. So, anyway, check the links out down below.
And to check the links out to our models while you're down there, because, they're pretty fun cool as well. And hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we post a video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!